Hi, and welcome to Ladies of Another View on Back. I'm Patty, and I'm joined here today with Donna and April. And I hope your weather is going in the right direction like ours is, from the deep freeze to above freezing.
Oh, it's
So,
beautiful.
I didn't even bring a coat.
yeah. That's the thing is when you've been way below zero for 2 weeks and it gets above zero, you feel like I'm not even cold.
Right, it's
Yeah.
so nice.
I don't want to waste time, though. I am excited about our guest today, Phillip Dolitsky, and let's welcome him to the show. I'll tell you who he is. Welcome, Phillip.
Thanks for having me.
I came across an article that Phillip wrote, and he's a master's student, getting his master's at the School of International Service at American University, and he wrote for the Public Discourse an article on fatherly figures. And this is near and dear to my heart. Phillip, tell us why you wrote this article.
Yeah, so I am a child of divorce, product of divorce, and the divorce put me at odds with my father, which is, I don't think, so uncommon. And as a 17-year-old boy, when that happened, I still desperately needed a father and craved a father. And thankfully, there were people in my life, teachers and mentors and role models who stepped up to fill that fatherly void in my life. And I just feel as if we need to embrace that role and need to tell people how important it is to fill that role for the fatherless children that are out there.
You made some very good examples. Like, for instance, you got a book to learn how to, I don't know, change a tire or fix your car, and you said a book.
Yeah.
You didn't have your dad, but there was somebody in your life that kind of filled that void. His name was Doc, right? A school teacher.
Yeah, my English teacher, my beloved Doc. He was my English teacher for 2 years, and I credit him with molding me into the writer that I am today. But it's the least of who he is to me is my English teacher. He's someone who I've called for career advice, someone who I called for dating advice, someone who, 6 years out of graduating high school, I schmoozed with him yesterday. He really is someone who's gotten me out of tough times, and someone who I really thank God every day that I get to call him a friend and a mentor.
And as you told your story, you really encouraged other men to look around them and think about who are the young men or boys in their life who could use that father figure, and what can you do? Like, what kind of things would you encourage men to do?
So when I published the article, it's been a few weeks, so I got a lot of emails in from people of all over the place, from doctors and scoutmasters, and I think that one pediatrician who emailed me, he pointed to people like scoutmasters and your spiritual leaders. So I think men who are proud fathers and who want to mold other men, to mold boys into men, I think we should reach out to those institutions that have the knowledge of who is indeed in need of help. So I think those men out there who are willing to take on this challenge should reach out to their church, their synagogue, to reach out to their schools, their local schools, perhaps, and inquire and say who's out there that could use some support and use someone to help guide them.
Phillip, what's happening in our society? You addressed it in your article, with the liberal almost trying to dismantle the family and treat men like they are dispensable and we don't really need them.
Yeah. There's this nasty word that gets thrown around, this word patriarchy, and patriarchy, I think, at its core means rule by fathers. And the alternative of patriarchy is not necessarily ruled by women. I think the alternative of patriarchy is chaos. If you don't have a society that can mold men through their fathers, you don't create a functional society. And we're seeing now, I think, this othering of everything that it means to be a male, this othering of masculinity, this toxic masculinity. And it's coming at a cost. It's coming at a cost of people thinking that fathers are just a choice. Fathers are not really necessary. They're a source of trouble in the world. And I think the real trouble is not having enough of them. And I think this is such an established fact in social science. The greatest way to increase social dysfunction is to minimize how many fathers there are in the world. And we look at 65 years of social science and we brush that away. It's really a scary fact, and we ought to do everything we can to change the way the world is headed right now.
Wow. You know, a while back, I did a segment on this wildlife refuge with elephants, and they tried to cull the herd, and they took a lot of the male elephants out, and they had the females and the other younger, you know, the junior elephants. And what they found was all chaos ensued. And the adolescent male elephants were killing rhinos. They were being destructive. Wow. And they're like, what? The herd went nuts. So they put the male elephants back with the herd, and everything calmed down. I thought, wow, yeah, amazing.
So it brought some order to what was happening.
Yep.
They
needed the males.
We need the males, yes, we do.
We do, and I think everyone needs a father. So I know in your article it's particular towards, you know, young men needing a father figure, but young women need a father figure as well. And, you know, I grew up with, you know, kind of not a solid father figure. And I know in my adult life, you know, my coach has became my father figure. And I have my own personal doc as well. And he is a father figure and a mentor to me and helped shape me. It's a big reason why I'm part of this show, actually, is because he's helped shape me so much and help me grow. And I think it's really important that we all realize we all need mentors and we all need, you know, father figures, mother figures, people to help shape us and teach us our morals and be our moral compass. I think that's really important.
Yeah, indeed. You know, I often think that, you know, a father is supposed to tell his son that, you know, he's supposed to help mold him in all of the natural emotions that a male has, right? So I think a father is supposed to tell his son, you know, that it's okay to push the bully when he's beating up on your sister, but it's not okay to push him if he accidentally bumps into you. And a guy has to learn that at some point. A father's supposed to tell his kid, you know, that it's okay to have healthy sexual feelings if it means that you can court a wonderful woman and treat her well. And if a father doesn't teach his kid that, you know, you have sexual tensions and sexual feelings that could have disastrous consequences. We need people to mentor everyone in every aspect of life. I don't think that the young, especially, can be able to go on their own. But like you said, you know, there are reasons that there are mentors that exist throughout our lives at any stage, and we owe them a lot of debt and gratitude.
Yeah.
Philip, are you in a situation where you can look around sometimes and see boys that maybe could use a little? I mean, you maybe didn't have the father you wanted, but that you can be that role model that you had.
It's like if I have ever been in that position,
right,
to be the role model. In a lot of ways, I think to my little brother, I was. My little brother's a lot sweeter than I was when I was in high school. And people ask me, you know, what's the deal with Eric? And I say, someone must have raised him right. I think with my little brother especially, but also other people who I know who have confided within me that they're the children of divorce, and just to be able to be a supportive person and help understand their pain and their suffering, I think has been a role that I don't take lightly, but it's a role that I'm happy to assume.
Yeah, and it's sometimes the little things. It doesn't have to be a huge, but just when you see somebody to be able to help support that parent or be part of that.
Yeah, look for those opportunities as they present themselves.
At the grocery store,
yeah,
or
sure,
wherever it is. Yeah.